Good morning, Center 2. Today we're going to continue with word problems in math. And we've been practicing multiplication, so we're going to be looking at some multiplication word problems. Today I'm going to show you how to understand the question, create a plan to work it out. We're going to be using bar models, and we're going to answer our question in a complete sentence because it's asking a question, right? It's a word problem. So let's begin. Polly reads 5 pages of a storybook every day. How many pages does she read in 4 days? So the first thing we have to do is understand this question. Let's go back to read it again. Polly reads 5 pages of a storybook every day. Here I have Polly. She's a girl. She has a book in her hand. If we look at this book, it has in a lot of pages. If I was supposed to guess how much pages are in this book, I would say maybe about 200 pages are in this book, right? If you look at it, it's a huge book. So to help Polly read this book, she only reads 5 pages a day. So every day she picks up this book and she reads 5 pages out of the entire book every day. And if she continues like this, she's gonna finish reading the book eventually, right? Because it's a lot of pages. So she reads 5 every day. So now we understand that this is Polly, this is her huge book, and she reads 5 of the pages of the book every day. So let's go back to this sentence. Polly reads 5 pages of a storybook every day. Now I understand what that means, but I want to take out the important information out of this sentence. So what's important for me is 5 pages. So I'm going to go ahead and circle 5 pages, right? So 5 pages is important. I'm going to circle 5 pages. Polly reads 5 pages of a storybook every day. The question says, or asks, how many pages does she read in 4 days? So I'm going to underline here. It says how many pages. It's asking me for a number. How many is asking me for an answer with numbers. So I already know my answer is going to be an amount because it's asking how many pages, right? Does she read in 4 days? I'm going to circle this because this is also important. When I circle important information from my sentence, it helps me to look at the important information that I need to solve the problem. So it's not asking me how many pages she read every single day because that's if we're going to calculate that, that's totally different. It's only asking me how many pages she reads in 4 days. So it's only asking me to find how many pages does she read in 4 days. If every day she reads 5, I only need to find out how much she reads in 4 days, right? Okay. So I'm going to write days here. I'm going to put the word day. I'm going to put the word day here, and I'm going to start drawing my bar model. So, in 1 day, I'm going to put the number 1. In 1 day, this little block represents how many pages Polly reads. So, in 1 day, she reads 5 pages. So, I'm going to be drawing my bar model here to show me that from here to here represents 5. So, this represents 1 day, right? 1 day, she reads 5 pages. This little bar model shows me that 1 unit, 1 bar represents 5. So 1 day equals 5 pages. Now we want to find out how many she reads in 4 days. So I'm going to write 4 days at the bottom here. You can label your bar model with any little word that you want. It's your bar model. You're just labeling it to keep your information organized and so that you can understand your information. So if one of this bar represents a day, I want to go ahead and draw 4 little bars. See, that's going to be 1 little bar. I'm not going to connect them for the purpose of learning it. When you get better, you can connect them, okay? But I'm going to put them really close. So I'm going to draw out 4 days here. 3, 4. Because we're trying to find out how much she reads in 4 days. This is 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. And if each of these days she reads 5, so this is going to be 5. My bar model is showing me what each is worth. So this is also worth 5. This is day 3. This represents 5. And this is day 4. This represents 5. So each day, Polly reads 5 pages, right? 5 pages. So she reads 5 pages here, 5 pages here, 5 pages here, 5 pages here. This is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. My question is asking how many pages does she read in 4 days? So I need to find out how many she reads in 4 days. This 1 day shows me that 1 day equals 5, right? This is all this is showing me. 1 day equals 5. And 4 days equals 4, 5. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 days here, and each of them has 5 pages that she reads. So what I am trying to answer is how many she reads on all these 4 days together. How many does she read all together on those 4 days? So that's what I need to figure out. How many pages does she read in 4 days, right? So I can go ahead and I can say, how many 5s do I have? Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, coming from the same 4 here. So I'll put my 4 and I'll put my 5 and I'm going to multiply because I have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 here 4 times. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times 5. I have 5 down here 4 times. So that's how I know I'm going to multiply, right? I want to find out how many pages she read each day. So I'm going to say 4 times 5 to find my answer. So 4 times 5 is 20. Okay? So I could figure out this answer 2 ways. I could say 4 times 5, or I could say 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Either way, I'm still adding 5 4 times. See, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 would give me 20. And 4 times 5 would give me 20. Now, if we look at how we can find the answer, this is the longer way. And you're more likely to make a little mistake if you're going to be adding so much numbers together, right? So the easier way is to just multiply it. 4 times 5, 20. So in 4 days, Polly reads 20 pages. Okay, so now I need to answer this question. How many pages does she read in 4 days? I could put in 4 days Polly reads, capital because Polly is proper noun. Polly reads, takes a little while to write on this, right? Polly reads, this is my S, 20 pages. So I answered my question here, right? I answered my question, asking how many pages does she read? So my answer has to be telling the amount of pages. So in 4 days, Polly reads 20 pages. And I'm finished, right? So when you're doing your question, your word problem, if drawing bar models will help you understand it, go ahead and draw it. If you can just work it out and find your answer, go ahead and work it out. So today I want you to try it for yourself. It's okay if we make little mistakes. That's fine. That's how we're going to learn. So keep watching the video to copy it down and work it out in your math notebook.